Alright everyone, I did a video before with talking about the squad, who's likely to go, and I did some thinking after that, and I may revisit this one in the future depending on players likely to come in, but I thought, who could we bring in for each position? And I did some looking, did some thinking, because we've seen these players are linked with the club, and I thought I would put some names your way. You may have heard of some of these, you may not, but I'm going to bring some to you. Okay? So I'll just find my notes. Right. We know we've got a keeper incoming, so that's obvious. So I thought, we're going to lose Trent from the looks of it, meaning we have one right back in Conor Bradley. The club aren't going to want to spend 60-70 million on replacing Trent in the squad. So where do you go? Do you bring in the academy? I've just done something on Conor Bradley's injury and a youngster that could deputise as a sub in the final. But would you want that for a long-term solution? I don't think you would. Not yet. So I looked at some names. I'm going to bring one name to you. First of all, plays for Sporting. He's played 24 games across all competitions this season. Spanish under-20 international. Also under 18 and under 19 at the moment. Aged 20, and that's Ivan Fresneda. Previously of Real Valladolid. So there's one name. Date of birth here, 28th of September 2004. So there's one name for you there. Next name I have is somebody who's played 21 times. No, this in La Liga, 28 in total across all competitions for Girona. In fact, has played fairly regularly for Girona, Spanish under-21 international. 21 years old, born in April 2003. That's Anel Martinez. Now the advantage of Martinez is he can fill in at centre back, but he's primarily a right back. So there's another option for you there. Another one, like you said, put some answers in the comments to that one. Next on my list, who's just started to make a name for himself this season for Porto. Excuse me. 18th of January 2006 is date of birth, so he's 19. And that's Martin Fernandez. You may not know him. Portugal under 19 international. Has played 25 games in all competitions. And made his debut when, at the time, manager Sergio Conceição, that's now the now Milan manager, picked him when João Mario was injured. So there's another young one. The oldest of my picks here, who will be 25 at the end of the calendar year, plays for Stuttgart. Has played fairly regularly in the Bundesliga. And has one cap for Germany, but did receive several under 21 level. Is Joshua Wagnerman. There's another one for you there. Now if I go to the left back side, obviously we all know the names of Ryan Aït-Nouri and Milas Kerkez, and obviously Jarell Hato as well. One we were linked with but moved to Man United was Dorgu. So who else have we got? Going back to Girona, there's Miguel Gutierrez, the 23-year-old left back. He's also one of their key players, so there's a name for you. One name you will know, I don't know how doable a deal for him would be, he might be a bit more costly. 23, he's at Villa, that's Ian Maatsen. So there's some names there. So what do you think of those for fullback options? Now, if we look at the centre-back role, at the moment, all being well, everybody fit, we have Virgil van Dijk, Ibrahima Konate, João Quansah, Joe Gomez. But we don't know which of those are going to be here come July, come season kick-off in August, so come the end of the summer window. So I had to think, who could you bring in? One name, if you've seen a bit of the Serie A, you may not have, is an Italian international. Hasn't played as much this season, but previously has about 60-70 games across previous campaigns. Age 21, and that is Giorgio Scalvini of Atalanta. I can't remember if he played against us in the Europa League. I'd have to probably look back at like the team sheets for that match. But you may have come across the name. There's the 23-year-old Ecuadorian at, is it Leverkusen? And that's Piero Hincate. Now, another thing with him is not only is he a centre back, he's very similar to Hato, is he can also play left back. So when you think there, that's a bit more versatility than some of the other names. If you want to go back to Portugal, let me think. Sporting have a young centre back. You may know the name, and that's Ousmane Diomande, who's 21. And he's a full international for the Ivory Coast. So there's some centre back, right back, left back options for you. I don't know what you think of those names. I don't know how many of those you know, but there's some options there. Midfielders, off the top of my head, I'd probably have to do another video on, otherwise it would be a long video. If I put every position, I thought I'd just focus on the defenders. And I think everybody seems to have a good grasp of the midfielders available, but the defenders across their back line, there seems to be less names branded about. Obviously we've seen Van Heck, Anthony Robertson, Loic Bardet. There's a couple from Valencia as well, basically their centre-back pairing, I think. I was trying to think if it would be Dean Hewson, Bournemouth. I don't think there's any centre-backs or right-backs for Wolves. There's Murillo at Forest, but I don't think we've been linked with him. But there is a few options there. But if you look around Holland, Portugal, and possibly South America, there's some various names. I think we were linked with a Brazilian right back. Was it Wesley Franca? I think it was. There are some reliable, what's the word, setups that have developed players over the years. I think for the attacking side you'd probably be better off with South America. When you think there's the likes of Soler's just gone to Bournemouth. Why did I say Brighton? Brighton are very good in the market and finding some of the younger players. For example, look what they've done with Moses Caicedo. Brought him in, developed him, sold him for a huge fee, and I think his replacement's being linked as well. Good name. But there's some names to get you going. See what you think. Or if you've got any other names that stand out that I've missed off. I've deliberately not gone for the likes of, say, Destiny Udogi or Pedro Porro or the likes of that, because I think to get them they're going to be a pricier acquisition. I think Porro was linked in some quarters with Real Madrid. I think they preferred him as a defender, but Trent has no fee in the summer, so it's a free transfer. Obviously there's no such thing as a free transfer. You've still got the signing on fee, you've still got agent fees, the whatnot. The one thing you don't have is a fee direct to the club, but everything else you've got to pay, and usually the signing on fee goes up. But there's a list of defensive suggestions for you. So, as I say, let me know what you think. Thank you very much. Alright.